Hi, Stacy here with Siouxland Magazine. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful evening. This is going to be such a fun conversation tonight, if you can't already tell just by visually looking at this, right? So tonight joining me, I have Gia, and Gia is with, and boy, when I say with, like, whew, what are you not with? We have the Conservatory of Music, we have Blue Cafe, I mean, you've got a vintage shop, you've got an art gallery, you've got like so many things. Gia has taken over the block on 13th and Pierce, and tell you what, she has turned that block into such a beautiful, artsy, creative, kind space. If you haven't been, you are going to need to go and check out all of these things. And so just to start, we're going to just jump into this thing. I first want you to get to know the person behind all of this. So Gia, hello Gia, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me today.
Good. So Gia, you are from the Sioux City area originally. I know you had spent some time away and then have come back and made this your home. Can you just real briefly tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, I grew up here. I'm an alumni of North High. That was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, Gia. Yeah.
So, as much as I adored our small city at that time, I was really eager to get out and explore the world. And I did so. I lived a lot of different places and I studied architecture and design at Iowa State. I
Mhm.
was a painting minor. And from there, I just pursued dream after dream after dream. And I studied at three different universities until I ended up moving to Los Angeles, where I worked as a set designer. I worked as a personal stylist for some pretty influential people in the music industry. And
Mhm.
I was a handbag designer. And I was always active and involved in the arts. My whole adult life, I've been influenced and hopefully an influencer in creative energy and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah, I mean, just amazingly creative. And that's where you met your husband, Ron.
yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Alumni.
and yeah, Ron is a wonderful musician. And so you guys moved back to Siouxland, made this your home, and decided that you are going to just build something. I love when people have a dream. They've got this big, beautiful dream, and they just tackle it one step, one day at a time. And it started with the Conservatory of Music. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have a beautiful story in life transformation. And one of our dearest friends in California always said, use whatever God has given you to bless others with. And
Mhm,
he's given me some experiences.
mhm,
He's given me an opportunity to have musical talent, artistic talent, and he's given me, I believe, a gift of serving people. And
mhm.
so we moved here, and that little message resonated with Ron and always has, as almost a way of life.
Mhm.
And so when we were living here, not knowing, we thought, well, we could probably serve people with his music ability and maybe teach. Um, and I thought, well, yeah, we could do that. And then I thought to myself, we really should find a place similar to the area that I grew up in.
Mhm.
So we started just looking, and I grew up 3 blocks from the conservatory block,
Okay.
and want to make some maybe not so friendly memories I had growing up, good ones. I have a story, and I'm so proud of my story, and I'm proud of everything that I've been able to overcome with the help of friends. And I feel like my place here is to be kind of, a person that can help others with some of the things that maybe I saw then. So we moved into the
Yeah.
conservatory, and it had to do with we started this business out of our home, and there was 62 students, 62
Wow.
students coming to our house every week, and I'm pretty private at home.
Oh, that's kind of hard to do with 62 students going in and out, Gia.
And as much as I love that, I really wanted to help more people, but we were out of space. And a dear friend of ours said, you know, you really should think about this as you're doing service work. Maybe think about putting together a mission statement, a mission where you can use music as the platform to help people. And we thought, oh gosh, this is also resonating, you know, this is something that is familiar to a life message in our past when Ron and I got together. And we thought, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. And we looked in our neighborhood, this neighborhood, and found our space. We purchased the space from the Crittenden Center, the first building, and we opened up, and my goodness, it was amazing. I remember it all too well. I'll never forget the day that we opened and the celebration at the Orpheum Theater. And that is a little over 10 years ago now.
Wow, has it been that long already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we've had, you know, a lot of people graduate and gone on to music college. We have some of our students that now are teachers, so we're very proud of that. Some are professional musicians. Can't complain.
No, that is awesome. So Gia, so for those who don't know, you're on 13th and Pierce. You're right across from Lagunitas. You have made the space so beautiful. You've got the orange and the name right on the side of the building. That'd be what, the north side of the building. So as you're coming down Pierce, you can't miss it. And what I think is so great about the way that you present music or you teach music, the space that you do it in is, I know growing, okay, so this is a long time ago, obviously, but, but growing up, I took piano lessons. And even today, you hear so many people that are taking piano lessons, or they're taking their lessons from maybe some nice little lady down the street, and they're all teaching the same basic classical music. And then as a kid, I remember even myself as a kid going, yeah, I just don't, at that point, I wasn't appreciating the music. And if you don't like what you're learning, it's harder to learn it. And that was one of the first things that really stood out to me with what you guys were doing, is you made sure that it was relevant, that the kids loved the entire experience. So they loved the music. You get to know them, you get to know what they love, what gets them excited, right? And you teach them that music. And you've got students that they can really relate to. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful space that just allows for that to flourish. I love that about that.
I think it's really important whenever you are trying to help someone, or when you're trying to connect with anyone in any aspect, any platform, you should really know your audience and know the person that you're trying to inspire. In other words, it should be about them and not about you. And, you know, in order for us to, I think teachers should, it's such a powerful position. And I tell my teachers this, we have an amazing staff, but you are able to either crush a dream or paint a dream, you know.
So true.
You know, and we have to really consider that, you know, when you think about being a life coach, or when you think about being a friend, and how important it is to have a message of love and respect for whoever you're working with. So what we do with that is we teach with what students already know. So if I have a young kid that's into punk rock, I'm probably going to teach that kid a Ramones song or something. I'm not going to, you know, and then when we have our inspiration time, I'll say, well, you know, let's find out who inspired the Ramones to do what they do. And we kind of tap into it almost in that aspect.
Yeah.
You know, if we're talking about rock and roll, even, we do have a classical teacher, you know, so we can talk about Bach, and we can talk about all of the amazing American artists if we want to, but it's really who is in front of us. And I've learned so much from my students. Now I'm interested in, I still struggle a little bit with my country music, but I like vintage.
Oh. Hey, I converted, you can convert too. Now I like all the genres. Oh, I love music.
I don't know, a long time ago, I was never a singer in a band, but I was a singer in a band.
Yeah.
And because of that idea of, I have to have a little bit of lyrics and I just have to have that connection.
Yeah.
And I don't drive a pickup truck and I don't drink beer.
Oh, Gia. All right. All right.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, I know you are. I love it. I love it. All right. So you have the conservatory, and then something else, another idea manifested. And what came next on your block?
Well, life came next, but we've always thought about our background, and I grew up in a restaurant family. Not very many people know that about me. I don't really, I'm not the kind of person that wants to let people know everything about me, but I grew up, my grandfather had restaurants. My dad and my mom raised me with that sense of service. They had a restaurant in Siouxland. And I thought, well, gosh, this is something that I know that maybe I could use as another platform to invite you. You've been to my restaurant to
Not
come
weekly.
and show you what I really do. And so we kind of look at our world here as people serving, meeting people where they're at with multiple platforms to have fun, basically. And it's been that way for us since we opened. The cafe's now been open 4 years.
Yeah. So Blue Cafe is on the south end of the block. Um, it is like one of my very, very, very favorites. I think I'm there almost weekly. Wouldn't you say, Gia? Even just to grab something to go and bring it home. And what I love about it is it tastes like something your mother, your grandmother would have made, right? From scratch. Like everything is so flavorful and delicious and healthy. And I know that when the farmers markets open that you are getting, I mean, you're getting fresh stuff from there. There's always a lot of veggies and herbs. And I know you grow a lot of your own herbs. I'm getting hungry thinking about it. But the food is wonderful. And when, I know things have been a little challenging with COVID, but when you're open, it's such a good place to go to when you just want the rest of the world to go away for a moment. When you want to have a good meal, you want to indulge in a wonderful conversation, and you're not feeling like the clock is racing. Too often in our lives, it feels like we are running from one thing to the next, and our lunch breaks are only an hour. We got to run through a drive-through. This is so the opposite of that. This is where you get to take time and indulge and appreciate and live, like fully be present and enjoy that moment. And the food is the best. Love it.
Better about the hour lunch break. A lot, I cut everything fresh to order. I don't prep. Like I prep to order. So
Yeah.
that at times has been challenging, but I figured certain things out. I have a very small, beautiful kitchen. I love my kitchen.
Yeah.
And, it's a place for, can I tell you, there's a stage in there, and it's really a place that I thought of when I think about my little girls. Before COVID, we had 126 active families, active students. I have little girls that play violin that are totally freaked out about playing and performing in front of an audience. So I do that then. It's like, that isn't really all that music is about. Sometimes musicians are never in front of an audience. So we do have a recording studio for that. We can teach our students how to record, and that's a whole nother beautiful platform. But so the cafe has a stage, and it was really designed with the thought of having an intimate recital. And it's special that way. And we have used it. K-Wit has used it. We've had live shows.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing quite a bit more of the broadcast effort, I think, through our own little channel and through K-Wit. So
yeah. I've always enjoyed it. And I've been there several times where you've had somebody playing live music. Even if it's just a keyboard or something, it's really fun. Life is short. We need to take time to have these moments of joy and to just appreciate good food, good company, music, the arts. And so speaking of arts, you have spaces in between these two, between the cafe and the Conservatory of Music. You've got a space, and you've got to show up right now, right, with an artist in there.
one of my dear friends who I truly admire, Terry McGaffin,
Mhm.
is showing her work until November 30th.
Mhm.
It's a great, great collection of her abstract work, which a lot of us haven't really seen much of. And I invite everyone to come and see it. She's amazing. You know, her career was at Morningside, and you
Mhm.
know, and she's a professional artist and has a gallery now at the gallery downtown, the Ho Chunk gallery.
Yes.
So
Oh, and she's just a wonderful person too. I love Terry. So definitely people will want to come and check that out. And that space that you rent out, correct? So people want to have a nice little small gathering or club meetings, and then you can bring lunch over.
yes, we cater lunch in that space. We just had the junior league in for a really fun lunch. Separation. You know, we did the COVID. It was interesting, but we had 30 women in having lunch in the gallery, and it was great because they were around Terry's work and did lunch. And but we've hosted a lot of private parties. All of it is the purpose to support our students at the schools. So what people really should know, I guess, is when you eat lunch at the cafe, when you book a birthday party, a private party, or when you come and buy art from our artists, our percentage of everything goes back to feed the need of our conservatory block. And we
Mhm.
do have a lot of overhead. I don't know that people quite understand, but you know, it's feeding a lot of need too. You know,
Yeah.
the overhead and the expenses are worth it to us. So
Mhm. Yeah, and the other thing too is your shop. So vintage, I mean, clearly look at you, you know how to dress. You always just blow people away. And so you've got a vintage shop. Tell people a little bit about that.
well, so I figured if I'm going to spend this much time at work, I'm going to surround myself with things that I love. And
Yeah.
I've always been a collector of vintage clothing. It's actually my extended closet, Stacy. It's just
Ah, there you go.
off and I enjoy styling people. I did that for a living in Los Angeles, and oh man, I had so much fun. And you know, I have to say that if I can get a chance to have a nice time with a person that might not notice how beautiful they are, and
Mm,
that's kind of what I have fun with in that setting of our block, because we have students
yeah.
that are just learning about themselves. I'm at this, I'm really lucky. I have a great job because I've got a 72-year-old man right now studying guitar with my husband. And then
Mhm.
we have teenage girls that I'm just trying to help them along with some things like feeling confident about who they are
Mhm.
and where they're going in the world and how they feel. This election season has been really great for me to have some of my young ladies with me. And then, you know, we have a men's room too in the shop, and we have furniture, and we have a coffee shop setting now.
Yep.
So the shop is not isolated to just clothing. It's becoming a hangout for college kids to do their homework in the evening.
Mm.
It's a cooperative co-working space because even in one of the spaces we have a hair salon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything you need is on that block, right?
Yes, no, I
It's,
do have a spot for my dogs to come to work with me too.
oh,
That means a lot to me, and they have.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well, it definitely shows your your passion and your ability to just continue to create and expand and explore.
yeah,
You know, and that's how things come to be, right? And that's how they shift and they change. Is it takes those creative personalities to come in and shake things up a little bit and to be comfortable. Being uncomfortable, right? It's challenging and it can be difficult at times trying to bring something new, to birth something new. And you know, you put yourself out there and you do it with such a big heart and with so much passion to just again try to give something back to this community. And one thing, Gia, that I really want to applaud you on, again, because I do spend a lot of time there for the last 4 years eating it at Blue Cafe. And over
mhm,
those 4 years, you know, I know it's been a little different with COVID and having to be closed, but you know, prior to that, being there eating, the one thing I've noticed and been so impressed by is very rarely am I there having a lunch where maybe it's a student coming down, you know, coming down the block in um, into the cafe, or I mean, just anybody. People come in, and all of a sudden it's like you get to witness this, I don't even know how to describe it, this massive amount of kindness, and you're so motherly and caring for everybody that comes in, and you do what you can to support them, to make sure that they know that they are significant and that they are loved and that they're supported and that they can do anything. And that has been such a blessing to me, to witness that and go, there are people out there in our community that are making a difference, and they're doing it one person at a time, and every single person that they touch has been impacted by them. That's
Thank
huge, and I applaud that.
you. Yay. Yeah.
Oh.
It
So,
needs.
yeah.
Yep.
So, with all these things that you do, how obviously people can plug in by taking lessons. If they aren't interested in that, maybe they just want to support kids, and help them have music accessible in their life. Because, you know, statistics show like having music in your life is huge. It opens us up, it helps us be creative, it's therapeutic, it actually helps with the math and science abilities. Like, music is huge. So maybe they want to support a student, maybe they want to eat there or shop there. But talk to us more, like, give us some more opportunities to support. How can we support your efforts?
Well, so even if you live, we registered 2 people that live in Los Angeles today that want to just sponsor someone. So what we're going to do with that, we're in a membership drive right now, Stacy, and the
Yep.
membership to our block sounds, I don't know, it's not as expensive. I don't think it's $25 if you're in school. That's nothing, and it's for a year.
The
And
pizza.
the pizza. What I'm trying to do with that 25 is when someone gives me 25, then I can put it towards a student or I can put it towards a light bill. I mean, I'm very transparent about where we place our funds,
Mhm.
but most importantly for that student, they literally have open access to this really great place that's like a gym, but it's for musicians. So if you are, well, think about it, if you play the drums, and think about if you're learning to play the drums, it's very different for family members at home, you know. So we have a lot of people,
Yeah.
we have the drum space, we have basements here, and we have that going on. But if you're a professional person and you are really embraced with this thought of having a podcast, and how do you do that? Well, we have a podcast studio. I'm actually
Mm.
sitting in our podcast
Well,
studio
yeah, I
right
forgot to even bring that up.
now. So your membership as an adult is 75 for the year. Okay.
Mhm.
Students, I have to treat my students to the 25. So if you're a single adult and you're a professional and you want to get to know people, this would be a really great place to start with your membership by just getting the
Mhm.
membership to the cafe, maybe trying podcasting out if you want. We have a producer. He sits and he hosts and he produces, and he'll use your platform and he'll help you design your podcast all from start to launching it. And that's part of the membership. So the membership also will host private parties. As a member, you can have private parties. You can use some of the party
Nice.
space. You can use a conference room. You can use this for co-creative work. We have some people that have collaborated that live in Des Moines that have come to Sioux City and want a quiet place. And we do have that during the day. It's kind of quiet, you know.
Mhm.
4 o'clock, that's when our kids come and they are ready to rock.
Yeah.
So stay after and have a glass of wine or a beer in my cafe and play
Yeah.
electric guitar if you want. But
Yeah.
we've got that going on too. But so the membership means a lot to us. It means a lot to the people that are members. They know that they are supporting a cause that can choose or can improve lives.
Mhm.
The family membership is 100 for the year. You do get a
Yeah.
discount on music lessons. You can come and go when you want. You get a discount at Blue Cafe. You get a discount, say if you're the Partridge family. You can go to the recording studio. It's called the blockstudio.com. Actually,
Uh-huh.
there's a website. And you get discounts on recording time. So recording, we've got $40 an hour if you're a member, and that includes all that stuff like the mastering and mixing and
Hmm.
all that good stuff. So it's a good,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah,
So
we love it.
how do people get the membership?
So we have a couple of different ways. I would love to meet my members personally and give them a tour. I really would. So you can come
Yeah.
visit me. I'm there Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings. I serve my crepes on Saturdays, and we sometimes have open mic on Saturday mornings too. It's kind of fun.
Yep.
Have really good coffee, and I make my homemade chai tea. That you,
Hmm. I love your teas.
and so you can purchase your membership at the cafe in person, at the conservatory. We're here in the evening. We really are productive with the hosts here to show you around from 4 until 9, Monday through Friday. So you can come and see Terry's work in the gallery right now, and check out the live venue space that we have, because we have this really cool all age space that we're booking shows for 2000.
Yeah. Oh,
There, but it's a really cool live space. It actually has skateboard ramps in it for skaters and rock and
yeah.
roll. So,
Awesome.
and you can go on the website. We have theblockvenues.com.
Okay, theblockvenues.com. And we will have that posted here too. So it's right at your guys' fingertips.
Awesome. That's how you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
That's it. You can become a member. Those two ways I like. So
Perfect. Well, thank you, Gia. Well, before we wrap up tonight, is there anything else you wanted to mention that we haven't touched on yet?
um I think that, going through what we've been going through in this past year, I would hope that we can all go into winter writing good music, writing good poetry, reading
Mhm.
really good books, and maybe we're supposed to slow down. I think, and
I
I
do.
know that it's hard for most of us because we all have people to answer to and schedules and everything. But I think in reflection to what we're all facing, the challenges,
Mm.
we really need to, as my good friend that's an Italian says, cut the crap.
Yeah.
Nothing is such a big deal, right? And
Yeah.
and enjoy your life, because we never know, right, Stacy? We don't know.
I know. We both learned that very early.
Good,
I mean,
good.
life can be short and you got to just seize it and
Yeah,
show up every day and love and share your talents and your passion.
right. And
Absolutely.
let the criticisms lay with the critics. It's like, we have a lot going on. That's what a lot of people will say that to me, and I'm thinking to myself, the most influential person in my life was my mother, and when she passed, it was something to me that, you know she lived a wonderful life, but she did have some things she didn't get to get done. And if I have opportunity to do and to help others do, most importantly, I'm going to
Hmm.
do it.
Hmm.
My children, they're thriving, they're ambitious, and their ambition is fueled from that passion of just being good. And I
Yeah.
think that's really important. So
Hmm.
if we could all just do that and become a member of my place here on the block, it would make such a difference for so many, including the people that become members, right,
Yeah.
Stacy?
Absolutely. I got my membership.
I know.
Yes.
We actually we usually have Orpheum show this
Mhm.
year. Every year, it's like our harvest, our celebration, where we
Yeah.
recognize people that sponsor students in music lesson, and we recognize people. We can't
Mm.
have the show, so we're going to do an online an event with this membership drive we're having. We've got this other event that you can go on our Facebook page and learn more about, because
Yeah.
I can go into that too. But we're going to be putting a lot of things. It's not really to rest. We're just learning how to work with different ways. Like we're
Hmm.
having an online concert, so you're going to know about
Nice. Yeah.
the online concert will be launched in December, right before the holidays.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah.
in lieu of our
Well,
work.
next year. Back in the RPM next year. But until then,
It's nice
yes.
to have conversation with you without a mask on. We could
I
have
know. Every time I see you, it's yes. What you do, I'm in the cafe just feeding my face. But thank you, Gia. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing and appreciate your time here with me tonight. For all of you out there, again, visit. If you have not been, go and visit. That block has got something for everyone. Do what you can to support. Like Gia said, this is, you know, this is the time, I think, winter where we kind of go inward naturally anyway, and then with COVID on top of it, like this is a time where we can really slow down a bit, really take that time for reading and poetry and music, and to give back and do things that make a difference, and definitely support the children who are trying to learn music, that are making music, that are future musicians. So support them if you can, would appreciate. And of course, I've got all the links on here for you. So easy for you guys to get in touch. Biggest thing I always say is like their Facebook page. If you've liked their page, you're going to stay in the loop. You're going to know what's happening. So that's huge. And then also share these videos. If you are enjoying these videos, share them. We want the reach to be as large as possible and go as far as possible, so that people get to know about this. So that would be appreciated as well. And if you happen to be with a nonprofit and you would like to do one of these nonprofit spotlights, just like Gia did, I would love to have you. All you have to do is go to siouxlandmagazine.com. My contact information is on the bottom of the page. Just reach out and I will get you scheduled. Would love to have you. Again, thank you, Gia, so much. And for all of you out there, just have a wonderful night. Remember, it's so important to take time for self-care. Be good to yourself. Find those beautiful little moments of joy. Go get some food at the cafe and indulge. Maybe have a glass of wine and enjoy. And of course, also remember to reach out to those who just need to hear your voice. That might be a little bit isolated or lonely. We all have to do our part to take care of one another and just make this community and this world just a little bit better place for all of us. Appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful night. Good night, Gia. Thanks, everyone.